Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm GT. Tonight we're live on iRacing for the Pagnian Import Supercars Championship, and tonight is the final round and we are at Bathurst Mount Panorama circuit, so some exciting action at the mountain tonight to finish off this great series. Tonight's session, we've got 10 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, and the race is 40 minutes. Weather conditions are clear. Cars are capped at 47% fuel, meaning they'll need to stop to be able to finish the race. It's a standing start and restart to single file with lap cars to the back. In the championship, we have Cameron Veacock leading with a great lead in the championship, pretty much just arriving with the win in the final round tonight. We're sitting on 586 points, but then that rest of the podium is heavily contested tonight, so it's going to be a fierce battle for those remaining positions. Last week we were at Road America on the full course for round 4, where we saw Cameron Veacock take a clean sweep with that pole position, fastest lap of the race, bonus points, and taking the victory. So we'll jump over and check out the track. The track length is 6.14 kilometers long, and of course that is Bathurst Mount Panorama, a very iconic track. So we'll be heading over onto the track now. Let's see which driver's already out racing around. It's not wanting to change over to a different view. There we go. Was a little delayed in changing over. So currently got 15 drivers loading into the session. He's got 4.5 minutes of practice. Let's have a quick run down. So we've got Blake Oakart. We had Cameron Veacock, our championship leader. Nathan Peters. Robbie Bradbury, Luke Holland, Shane Newen's joining us, and we've got another driver loading in as well. Russell Gander just pulling up in pit lane. Caleb van der Reyden. Fantastic looking liveries out there. We had Mel Cochran and Michael Quain, Ryan Carlson. We'll be crossing over to him in a moment for a hot lap. He's just coming across the top of the mountain at the moment. We have Stephen Banks, Philip Buckland, and we've got Lucas Burt, and then also Lee Davies. Ryan just making his way down now, so we'll jump over in a moment. Safening time in practice done by our championship leader is Cameron Veacock, a 2:04.823. Ooh, and a little bit of understeer. Not sure if the car on the outlap slightly put him off. Here's Ryan, will gear up ready to jump on for a lap around. And Ryan, are you able to take us around for that hot lap? It's good to have you back in the seat for tonight's round.
Yeah, thanks mate. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Sweet as. So you want to try and use that curve as a motocross turn coming around the last corner. Get as close to the rev limiter as you can without hitting it. Brake at the 100 board. You can brake a little bit later, I'm just not good enough yet. Turn it in as close as you can get to the curve and feed it out past the green curve. Then you got a little bit of brake coming up towards turn 2. Just waiting. You want to brake just past the wall, where the wall goes to black. I don't know why I went second there, I meant to go to third. Feed it over this little curve here like a motocross burn. Get really close to this outside wall, turn it in. And you want to try and straight line this braking zone as much as you possibly can. Get really close to this inside wall, feed it out, close to the outside wall but not all the way out. Little lift over that little bump, and then you get really close to this inside wall here. Slight lift, feed it out just about next to the outside wall. Same through here. Well, I hit that one. Don't do that. Get to this curve, you want to turn in just before it goes to the red and white. Feed it through on a good lap. I was in 5th. I don't know why I was in 5th. This is an appalling lap, so come back later, I'll get you a better one. Come back in qualifying, this is just a complete write-off of the lap.
No worries. Thanks, Ryan. You can see just how easy it is to become distracted out on the track. There's a lot of things to be taking note of, and especially after talking it through, makes it that much more difficult as well. The lap before from Ryan wasn't enough to be able to be the second quickest time. It's just been bumped down by Blake Urquhart. So we've got 35 seconds remaining of practice. Cameron's still got the quickest time. There's only 6 drivers getting a time on the board. And it's much the same as last week. It's going to be rather difficult to try and get that time in within that 10-minute period. And if you're joining us for the stream and haven't done so, do hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live. We're here every Monday night for iRacing, and then also Project Cars 2 on Thursday nights. And we've also got the final for the V8 Supercar Championship on Project Cars 2 this Thursday. And then we'll be back again next week with the opening rounds of the next series, and we're heading over into GT3s. Now time is of the essence. Hopefully we don't go distracting Ryan too much, jumping up for a qualifying lap. Fair bit of traffic on that out lap. So drivers are going to want to try and space a little bit. They can't afford to have any touch going around on their timed lap. Ooh, and there's a off already. I think it was Cochrane's car. At least that's only early on that out lap, so it's going to be enough time to be able to get back out there. Only takes a small nick on that lap and invalidates that time. Oh, and a few issues for Cochrane again. That was just him spinning as he came out of pit lane on those cold tyres coming out of the pits. That car can really spool up in first gear. I usually opt for coming out in second just so you can get on that throttle without it torquing up too much in the rear. Blake flies on ahead, so I think he's now the first driver out on track leading the way for qualifying. There's Ryan. Jump in so we get him nice and early. There you are, Ryan, we're back on with you now. You are on mute by the looks of it.
My bad. So you brake at the 100 board there, feed it in really close to the curbing in here, because there's a little bit of camber on the road there, so you want to get nice and evenly in there, but it's only about a car width worth of camber, so it's really important to get close to the curb. Got to feed it to that outside green curbing just there, make it a really nice run up towards turn 2, brake just after the outside wall there turns to black, turn it in really close to this curb too, but don't hit it because it upsets the car as well. It will send you into that wall there. Get really close to this outside wall, come in, straight line the braking through here, down to second, get as close as you can to this inside wall, carrying as much speed as you can. Not too close to that outside wall there because that sets you up for a really big bump in there, but you want to lift slightly through here, feed it as close as you can to that red wall, in the fourth, feed it really close to that wall there, straddle that curb a little bit, it helps drift in a little bit. just before that curving there, you turn in, feed the throttle the whole way through, slightly flop that curve there, about where the grass ends is where you brake, and just pretend like the rev limiter's not here. Helps slow you down really well. 2 wheels through there, full throttle straight away, you brake just after it goes to wide on that inside wall there, and try to keep all 4 wheels still turning, try not to get any inside front locking, close as you can to every wall on entry and exit I should say. On the straight you want to try and get as close as you can to the limiter without hitting the limiter. Try and get as many little hundredths as you can because every hundredth makes a difference in this game. Use all the millimeters you can on the run-off area there. Try and turn it in really neatly. I stuffed that up a little bit, but that's alright. Straddle that outside curve there because that helps the grip in a little bit too. Brake just before the 100 board. Turn it in, trail braking the entire way. Trail braking is really important through here around this track because you have no lap time without trail braking in these cars. It's really difficult to drive without trail braking. But yeah, that's a semi-decent lap around Bathurst.
Thanks Ryan, glad we didn't stuff you up too much there. Now we focus ready for that qualifying for the final round. Good luck.
Alright, thanks mate.
Ryan, much happier with that lap around. Now pole position for the first time lap, a 204.655 done by Blake Urquhart. Not too much difference in between himself and Cameron Veacock. Veacock setting a 204.790. And we're just under half the amount of time left to go. That's only going to be probably one time lap. It's got 7 drivers. Sorry, it's just starting to come through now. It's about 9 drivers getting a time on the board. And thanks for jumping on the stream, Cody and Gallen. If you join us for stream, don't be shy. Jump on the chat as Cody and Gallen has. Say hello. Let us know who you're here to cheer on, who you think's going to take the win tonight. Hey Cody, yeah, you definitely can't say no to Bathurst. Sam Tucker's come in with the third quickest time. He's done a 205.409. Robbie Bradbury getting in a 207, nearly flat. Looks like there's a little bit of dust drift along the top of the mountain there, so I might have gone off in Skyline. Hey Mick, thanks for jumping on. Gallen's going to win it tonight. Still have a few drivers to get a time on the board. It's only half of them getting a time on this. Hopefully will be, there's actually already a time lap on the board for Lee Davies. Will he improve? He's done a 213.488. A few drivers still parked up in the pits. It's not going to be enough time for them to get a time in qualifying. And for our top drivers on the championship standings that are heavily contested for that podium position, the qualifying points are going to be very crucial. Well, there's only a few points between most of the drivers. A couple of points difference in qualifying can mean a whole lot. Gallen playing some golf, finishing those rounds. Russell Gander currently parked up as is Nathan Peters. They got some times on the board. I think that was Lucas Burtz. That's going to be the end to his qualifying session. Banks yet to get a time on. If this lap doesn't count for him, he may have the opportunity for another lap. Maybe enough time. So he's crossed the line. It hasn't given him a time. So it was either an out lap or he's made some contact during the course of that lap. Lots of drivers now finished up. With only 15 seconds remaining. Ooh, lag glitch for Lee Davies just before he ran off through the chase. Blake Urquhart is our pole holder. Sam Tucker's just gone off for a spin. Caleb practicing a pit entry. Michael Quain getting in as much time as he can. So it's not going to be enough time to be able to get any more time lapse in unless they're towards that back end. So we should be able to see Mark Cochran, see if he can improve his time. Mustn't have been too impressed with that lap. He's going to do a smoke show across the line to finish off. Why not? She wouldn't light up though, unfortunately. So there we are. We have qualifying complete. So we'll bring up those qualifying results. We have Blake Urquhart taking pole position in the final round. Then the rest of the grid, we have Cameron Veacock, Sam Tucker, Caleb van der Reyden, Robbie Bradbury, Michael Quain, Russell Gander, Nathan Peters, Mark Cochran, Philip Buckland, Lee Davies, and then we have drivers not sitting a time on the board, Luke Holland, Shane Ewens, Ryan Carlson, Stephen Banks, and Lucas Burt. Back over on the track while the drivers are utilising that last bit of time to the session before it changes over. Most are parked up. Oh, Ryan Carson actually just had enough time to be able to get in a final lap. So it did appear that that was all finished up. He didn't get a time on the board when we're just checking the results. He just snuck into 4th position. So he's just bumped everyone down the line. So we're on board for that hot lap. There was just a tiny bit of a wall scrape you could hear going through one of the corners. Quite lucky that the session's hanging on quite well. The drivers must have been quick to wrap up in between the practice and the qualifying. So the server allowed that little bit of extra time for us. That's quite lucky. See if we can get a great view for the start of the race. That's probably our best spot for the start. Only a couple of drivers hit that grid button and then we'll see the lights go green for the last time in the Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship of this series. left. Just waiting on Stephen Banks now. Our drivers are hit ready now, so we're about to see the lights go green. Aaron gets away to a nice clean start, no bog downs.
Green flag.
Little bit of a delay for Blake. Someone's bogged down at the back. There's a fair bit of smoke from the grid. Blake holds the inside line, but it's very tight between himself and Cameron. Flash of the lights for Blake. Must be impressed with himself with that start. Did get away and hold off pretty quickly. He's got Ryan Carlson sandwiching Cameron now. And look at Stephen Banks sitting hot tight on the tail. There's going to be no room for error here. Blake Urquhart starting to get a bit of a gap over Veacock. He's got 0.7 now. Almost look like Urquhart taking a tiny tap to that wall. His tyre's quite cool. Track conditions a few degrees warmer than we had in qualifying. You can see Urquhart trying to break that slipstream. Carlson's going to be having a fantastic advantage here. It's in the draft of 2. And his brakes red hot as they come down into the chase. Urquhart still pulling ahead. He's got another 10th over Veacock now. Well, I think Banks looking for an opportunity. He was starting to close in and he did move over to the left. Nearly a second lead on the race. Veacock also starting to space Ryan Carlson. Both Banks and Tucker putting on some huge pace at the moment. Our first 5. Now gapping a fair bit. Is out a 5-second difference between 5th and 6th. It's Robbie Bradbury currently in 6th position. Already just tapped the exit wall at Forest Elbow. He's got Caleb van der Reyden making a move, going down Conrod now. Side by side. It's going to be interesting as they get to the bend. Bradbury yields. And still tucked straight back in behind van der Reyden. Luke Holland now looking to try and get around Bradbury as well. Luke Holland just marginally ahead as he goes down pit straight. He's going to have the track position in time for Hell Corner. Bradbury loses 2 positions. He's now got Quain closing in as well. There's a bit of a gap between these guys' battle to Russell Gander, and then Lee Davies and Shane Newlan's battling it out, as is Cochrane and Buckland. Cochrane just getting a pass down through turn 1. Urquhart starting to lose a little bit of pace. Their previous lap, Veacock was about 3 tenths quicker than Urquhart. In doing that, I think that was also fastest lap of the race. It's 2:05.190. So he's starting to put down some big pace, especially while he's in Urquhart's draft. Locked to that front a little coming down through Forest Elbow. Didn't seem to cost him too much pace though. The race leaders pulling away from Banks and Tucker now. They were holding pretty well. Yeah, Ryan did get the drop. Doesn't look like he's made any contact. He might have made a mistake, as he has dropped 2 positions, losing to Banks and Tucker. That's almost seeing Van der Reyden and Holland start to close in on Carlson as well. Okay. In the KFC car, does he have a menu log to deliver? He probably does. He's probably got a fresh delivery of zingers coming to someone at the moment. I suppose if you've got a want it nice and quick, what a way than to get delivered in a V8 supercar. A little bit slippery there for Banks. He's starting to put a little bit of a gap between himself and Tucker now. Tucker was about 1 second slower that previous lap. Yeah, the previous lap for Carlson was a 2:10.892. So he's made a mistake and it's cost him a few seconds. Veacock riding that draft of Urquhart. Look at him closing in, coming down. Oh, he's almost going to commit. Urquhart blocks the inside line. And even though Veacock is not a threat to Urquhart in the championship, if Urquhart can secure the win, that's a big difference in points to those that he's closely contesting for the podium. Veacock gets him here. He's going to have to tuck in. Or he's going to switch out and go for it through turn 2. It's going to be pretty game. What a pass. So these two probably going to play cat and mouse for a good portion of the race, I would assume. Lucas Burt. Already been in and pit. Not sure what lap he was pitting. He pit on lap 3, so he might have taken some damage. It's way too early to be able to bring the car in and pit. So we're noticing we can usually get about 30 minutes worth of fuel before having to head in. So it'll be surprising to see some drivers head in the next couple of laps. Especially if they're quite congested in traffic, it might be able to free them up a little bit. Get that splash of fuel that'll get you through for the remainder of the race. Lee Davies in the mellow yellow livery. Car looks fantastic. Bit of days of thunder stuff going on there. And he's chasing down Nathan Peters. Luke Holland now right on the tail of Caleb van der Reyden. Like really fighting for the spot on the podium for the championship. And the interview last week after taking the podium at Road America, he did say that Bathurst wasn't his forte of tracks. He's doing well, holding 7th at the moment, looking to take on 6th here. He's side by side coming up through the cutting. I don't think he's going to be far enough. He comes in, nearly taps van der Reyden. There is no room between these two. Cochrane closing in the take 11th from Philip Buckland. Russell Gander's just been in and pit. A lot of curb down through the S's, makes up a lot of time. I think he considered going for an inside move through Forest, but Buckland was on the line. There was not an opening. He's going to have to try and get him down Conrod. He's struggling to try and close that gap with the draft. He's going to get him rather late. He's going to try and commit to a pass down through the chase, but he's too far back. Buckland manages to keep him at bay. He's currently sandwiched between two full throttle racing cars. Peters dives out for a turn 1 pass. It's not enough to be able to get up ahead. Our race leaders still not giving up here. Nice lap Vcock slightly off pace. It's about half a second slower than Urquhart. Fastest laps of the race, fairly even though. 205.4 for Urquhart and Vcock at 205.1. which is the fastest lap of the race. As expected, we should start to see that drop once these fuel loads get a little bit lighter. There was a fair bit of lift from Vcock's car as he goes around the bend. He's carrying a lot of speed. He's going to go for an outside pass through Murray's. Oh, they are so close. There is no room here. Car gets quite the run of him through turn 1 though. Banks starting to close in on the two. So while the race leaders are heavily focused on each other, they're starting to drop a little bit of pace. A tad bit of slip from Urquhart that's cost him a bit more ground. Oh, Van der Reyden's just slipped out. Luke Holland moves up into 5th position. He's got a fair bit of ground to try and make up for a shot at the podium. Currently 10 seconds behind race lead. A whole lot of room between the three as they go down the dipper. It's going to take just one of them to slightly make a mistake and they could go off. There's a few wall scrapes we can hear as they come down and into the approach of Forest Elbow. Cochran still looking to try and get around Buckland. Buckland's been holding him off quite well. It's only about a 10th difference between the two on their previous lap. Nathan Peters was in behind them, but he ended up going in and pitting. So currently on lap 8. And it's side by side again between Urquhart and Vcock. Urquhart's just done his one move to try and block. So Vcock positions himself here. Could try and force himself some track position. Look just how close Banks is now. They're getting a lot of curb. Well, both Vcock and Banks go out wide. Very interesting for a double pass to be done through the cutting. Some more contact. Right up on the curve along Skyline. It's only just centimetres away from that dirt. He's using every bit of track. He's trying to carry as much pace as he can, try and gap Vcock again. Seeing a few other drivers now starting to pit. So now approaching that halfway point. So going in and filling up here will be enough to be able to get the car back home. Vcock peels off into the pits now. No slowing down. Locks her up just in time before he's got another driver following in. I think that's, who's that that's followed in? Sam Tucker following Karen Vcock into the pits. Urquhart remains the race lead. He's now got Banks following in the other KFC car. That sees Luke Holland up into third position. About half the field's been in pit. And Holland's got quite a hefty scrape up the side of that car. The drivers do have access to fast repairs. They're going to be able to use it. So if it's only just minor scraping, they can tend to that whilst they're getting the fuel. Oh, very slippery for Veacock. Not sure if he's been in taken tyres potentially. They could be a little green still. Gallon, nice score, mate. There's 2.2 seconds separating Urquhart and Banks. Look like Urquhart's car may have been a little bit settled at the turning. That car's starting the skate now, so it's very light on fuel. Be lucky to get another lap or two. Yeah, I think if he... Oh, he's nearly put that car into slide and put into the wall in pit lane. Trying to get as much speed as he can. And in comes Holland, as is Van der Reyden. I'm not sure if that was a tap just before the entrance there. Veacock, after pitting, came out in 5th position. He's currently 37 seconds away from Urquhart. Is he going to be able to beat him? I think he's got him for sure. Urquhart's still jacked. Veacock flies on through. Veacock's stop only took 18.7 seconds, where Urquhart was 21.5 seconds. It's taking only a few seconds difference in the pits. That was all it took to be able to take that race lead. Does that mean Veacock is running rather light on fuel? Drivers having pit now except for Lee Davies. He's currently in 10th position. I assume that car would be getting rather light for him. I think he may be taking it quite steady for this lap. Hey, cool boy. Thanks for jumping on the stream. And notice for Mr. Winner using those sound effects, you can play those over the stream. It'll be recorded, not just played live. So do use those sound effects and cheer on your favourite drivers. There's also some other fun sound effects. It doesn't cost you any bits to use. All those. Oh, just look how tight it is back there, coming down the chase. We're about nearly 3 wide coming down. Oh, there's a tap. Van der Reyden makes a touch onto Banks. It's lucky, I don't think much damage taken there. So Banks drops a few positions. Bradbury now moves on up into 7th.
Ha! Got him!
bit hard to tell from the angle we had whether one of them had that track position. They may have very well actually been quite equal at that point. Sam Tucker holding in third position. Burkhardt in P2. So now on lap 11, he led for those first 10 laps. And then Veacock gets the pass. Wills Urquhart was in the pits. Having that much quicker pit just the lap before. And he's now got a 4-second lead. And he's going to have a nice amount of open track ahead. It's going to make things very difficult for Urquhart to try and catch up now. With only 14 minutes remaining on the clock, Urquhart's probably main focus here is just to try and hold that position too. As long as he can stay well ahead of those that he's closely contesting on the championship. So he's got Bradbury, Holland, Banks and Van der Reyden. And with Holland in 5th, Van der Reyden in 6th. He's going to make sure he stays multiple positions ahead. That pole position definitely helped him with some extra points for the championship. Lee Davies still not heading into the pits. He's really driving this car to go fully light. So we're saying you usually get about 30 minutes worth of fuel. These cars get very flighty on those last litres. And he comes now. Shane Ewens, who's on past Lee Davies as he's peeled off into the pits. So currently on lap 12, we'll look at the standings. We've got 12 minutes 50 remaining. We have Lucas Burt in 16th. Oh, I think that was actually Toe, and he's just disconnected as well. So he's just exited. Must have gone off for quite a big incident. We might even have a look back and see what went on for him before towing that car in. So he's had an issue through turn 1. And it would have been a lengthy tow as well. He just understeered straight in. And then spun around, making further wall contact. Very unfortunate there. Those that aren't on iRacing, when they do use the tow feature, your tow time does vary depending on whether the race is under safety and then depending on your track position. So if you're not far from the pit entrance, you haven't got too long of a tow time. It is quicker if you can try and drive the car back safely. But having gone off in turn 1, if he's taken some significant damage, but would have really struggled to get that car around for a whole lap. So he would have been rather frustrated with himself there. So we keep our way through the standings while there's a bit of spacing going on. So Lucas Burt having just retired out in position 16. Then have Mark Cochran in 15th. Lee Davies, last of the drivers to head into the pits, currently in 14th. Philip Buckland in 13th. Nathan Peters 12th. Rasagander 11th. Shane Ewer's in 10th. Michael Quain in 9th. Stephen Banks in 8th. Starting to catch up a little bit of gain now on Robbie Bradbury. Did lose a few positions from the contact in the chase. Himself and Van der Eyden. Him and Luke Holland all went just about 3 wide down through the chase. Is Banks going to be able to make a move here? I think he is. He's committing to it. What a pass, flat stick. Bradbury backs off and just lets him take it. Oh, he's understeered a little. There's a lot of pace he was trying to have to shave off to make that corner. So Bradbury in 8th. Banks now in 7th. Kelly Van der Eyden in P6. Luke Holland in 5th. And they're starting the bunch up here. Ryan Carlson in 4th. Sam Tucker in 3rd. Blake Urquhart, P2. And our race leader is our championship leader, Cameron Veacock. He's led for the last 4 laps. We're on lap 14. Holland dropped back a little bit. I think he might have made some wall contact. It's from board the chopper as we're chasing Tucker Carlson and Holland down the mountain. That's how tight they're hugging that wall. Carlson looks to go for a move. Flat stick down through the bend. Is he going to be able to get a pass here? He's got a nose up in there. Bit of a touch. And he gets the pass and moves up on into 3rd. Carlson now having the look to defend to Holland. Bit of an intense battle between these 3. Just under 7.5 minutes remaining. And Holland gets a great run. He's going to have inside line advantage if he can poke that car up far enough. He's going to be careful of that understeer, taking that inner line. Carlson drops the position. He's just got loose out on that curb. It's made the car unstable, so he wasn't able to hold through. The Colin now starting to pull away a little. Oh, was that a wall touch from Carlson? Tail of Sam Tucker's car. The Commodore going a flat stick down Conrod. 292 Ks before getting on the anchors. Carlson looked to try and get around. Van der Reyden closing in to try and make it a battle of four now. That's Cochrane just coming out of the pits, just pulled up just to let these guys straight through. Tucker looking to go for an inside the line. Fight for this podium is starting to get very serious. These guys, lap times all very similar in the 207s. Maybe about a 10th difference on their previous laps. Carlson looked for an opening. It's not enough. Ooh, he's tapped the wall and he's also then gone off. It's going to drop a heap of pace. But he's moved over and that's just blocked Van der Reyden as he's tried to get control of the car. Gets up on two wheels, not sure if that's just pushed off Van der Reyden. He manages to save that car, both of them do. I mean, traumatizing to see them bin it just in these last two laps. That's probably put some ease to the pressure for Luke and Sam now. Now coming up to some lap traffic and they are starting the space a little. A little bit of drift from Urquhart. Might as well check out what our race leaders are doing. They're just quietly keeping to themselves out the front at this stage. They're on the lap 17. Should be the second last lap now. Yeah, Mick, I think Blake may have eased off a little. With only knowing there's a couple of laps left in this, there's no point trying to push and catch Veacock for 6.6 seconds. So all he's going to do is just risk an error and potentially throwing the whole race for him. He's got a nice 10-second safety net between himself and position 3. And you would know Veacock's already got the championship in the bag. All he had to do is this. Turn up and have a nice clean race and it was all his. He could have just basically parked up in pit lane if he needed to and finished at the back end. It's great to come into it. So we haven't got the white flag showing what this will be because there's only a minute 20 left on the clock, so we'll see the white flag come up once that's reached down towards 0. Sam Tucker and Luke Holland still at it. If Tucker's going to go for a spot on the podium, he's going to have to pass Holland this lap. He's putting some big pressure on those last few laps. But then he's also got to decide whether he just may be content just to stick where he is and not risk a pass on the last lap. So there's not going to be any opportunity to try and fix up any mistake. 20 seconds left on the clock. Oh, I'm not sure if Vicock may have just made some wall contact. Looks like he's got a hefty scrape up that left-hand side. Not sure if that may be from previous. Yeah, Luke starting to pull away nicely from Sam now. Holmes within sight now, so white flags up. Leacock wouldn't even probably want to worry about trying to get around. Oh, and it's contact right at the end. That's lucky as he crosses the finish line. So you go to move out of his way right at the end, try and let him free. Probably didn't want to do another lap. Vicock takes the victory, so that's championship in the bag for him. Burkhardt in position 2 on the podium. And that's probably going to be in a pretty good position to come very close for that championship podium spot. Luke Holland also on the podium in P3. Sam Tucker takes 4th. There's going to be a lot of traffic and chaos going along Mountain Straight. Everyone does their victory burnouts. And Stephen Banks crosses in 7th. You can't even see where he's going. There's that much smoke through Hell Corner. Like, really smoking it up. The next to cross the line is Michael Quain. It's a little bit loose through Murray's. Crosses in 9th position. Newlands takes 10th position. Peter's not sure if that's going around for a different lap. I think they've already crossed the line. Lee Davies giving a nice smoke show. Cochrane last drive and try and finish up. No, he's just having some fun smashing that car up. We're probably going to see the guys try and head off and do a jump. I wouldn't be surprised as well. So we'll check out those results while these guys play around with the cars. And there we are, our results for the final round of the Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship at Bathurst Mount Panorama. After 19 laps, Cameron Vicock takes the win, having the championship in the bag. So congratulations to Cameron. And then on the podium tonight is Blake Urquhart in position 2 and Luke Holland in position 3. And the rest of the standings we have is Sam Tucker, Caleb van der Reyden, Ryan Carlson, Stephen Banks, Robbie Bradbury, Michael Quain, Shane Newens, Nathan Peters, Russell Gander, Philip Buckland, Lee Davies, Mark Cochrane and Lucas Burt. So we'll Crossover should have our podium finishes in the chat. And congratulations, Cameron. That's championship in the bag.
Yeah.
Nice way to finish it off.
Definitely. I'd come into the track and I was a little bit wary about this track because I know what it can do and has done in the past to me here, so I haven't got a good track record. Let's put it that way.
You've done very well then. So about even between you and Blake with leading. So you led for the last 9 laps with Blake having those first 10 and got him with that nice quick pit stop. So saved about 3 seconds compared to Blake. So seeing them lose that position as you head down through pit straight.
Yeah, definitely. I think he just got held up because obviously for the first 9 laps sitting behind him, I was saving fuel left, right and centre. So when it came to the actual stop, I didn't have to probably take as much fuel as him. And I was going to go in at the lap when Blake went. The lap that I went in, I wasn't going to go. But if Blake went, I was going to do the opposite. So
Yeah.
I was trying to work out what he was going to do.
Yeah, nice strategy, and it paid off for you in the end.
Yeah, it got me out in front, and then it was all mine to lose after that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was just hoping to be able to hold on the car for those remaining laps and bring it home.
All I can say is I was talking to Luke, and we're both sitting in a pool of sweat over here because it was absolute torture.
Yeah, it would do. Well done, solid drive.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations, Blake.
Yeah, thanks, mate. No, that was a tricky first 10 laps. I didn't have my fan on, so I was bloody hot. So,
Yeah.
no excuses for that, though. No, I lost a bit of time in the pits. I nearly hit the fucking fence. Sorry about the F. That was the bomb. But yeah, no, I nearly hit the inside fence coming into the pits, and then yeah, I came out about probably 4 seconds behind Cameron and slowly reeling him in. I don't know if I would have caught him, but I got stuck behind a slow car. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but yeah, good job by Cam, and yeah, hopefully comes back next season and come back for more fights.
It was definitely a lot of fun racing those first 10 laps with you. I was nearly going to see what was going on there for a while, and I thought I had you at one point, and then we switched, and it was all...
Yeah.
It was a nice little bit of cat and mouse for a few spots. It was great.
Well, at the end of my race, I was terrified, because I'm not sure whether you caught it, but I thought I'd lost it all on the start-finish line.
Oh, right at the end, yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, that could have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, he just got across the line in time, so it was hefty damage to take right at the finish line.
Yeah, definitely. And in the end, I think I said to him I was going to push you, whether you made it or not. I was just going to push straight through you.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, and then Blake, that pit entrance was a little bit hairy, so you get that tail out in the grass and started sliding off towards that tyre wall.
Yeah, I usually don't do that, so I'm quite surprised that happened. Tried to make up a bit of time. That's why I stayed out another lap. I was like, oh, Cameron's probably going to go in this lap, so I'm just going to stay out. I'll put the lap together, but if I didn't do that, I reckon I would have been right back on him.
Yeah, because that car was starting to get quite light and flighty for that lap too. We did notice she was lifting in a fair few spots, so she was putting down some pretty good pace.
Yeah, no, she went pretty good around here, especially for a KFC car, can't complain.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, one of the guys said you must have had a menu log that you had to deliver.
Must be his inbox, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
For that 10 laps, I thought I had to give Cameron the box, so...
Yeah. And then,
Hey, I would have gladly taken it.
That's it, mate. You took it anyway, so you deserve it.
yeah, and congratulations, Luke. Big solid drive to move your way up towards the top end.
Yeah, I got out and I started my hot lap in quali, and then all the cars disappeared off the track, and I went, that's not good. And then my wife yelled out, babe, the internet's dropped down.
Oh, no.
So when I booted up with about 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out, get around and get a lap in, so I just had to start wherever I could.
And you did well and battled your way all the way up through the rungs.
Yeah, look, I was looking at, my consistency. I was actually pretty consistent. I got held up with a little bit of lap traffic, and to get that far up, I think I was pretty happy with that. Between, I think it was, Blake, myself, and Ryan, Carlson, we all had sort of 2:05.3s. Cam was the only one that sort of did better than us, so had the pace to be up there, but unfortunately, it's very hard starting 5-6 rows back.
That's it. Yeah, well done to be able to have that recoup, especially when you're saying it's not your forte around here either. So
I don't agree.
Have you broke the curse?
Maybe. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't think I got too many incidents, but it was more. I think I ended up with 5, but normally it's the big incident where I end up on my roof that kills me. So
yeah.
I've avoided that when I finish a race. So I don't think I've done enough to get P3 in the championship, unfortunately. Without being able to qualify, it's just points I couldn't even put on the board. So, having a word with my internet provider.
Yeah, that's it. Give him a good
Owe
stern
me a trophy
talking
in
to.
the past.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations,
How
guys. Great series. It's been fantastic to watch.
Thanks,
JT.
mate. Thanks, JT. It's been a lot of fun. The boys have always put on some good racing, and it's been close and clean. So can't ask for anything more, really.
That's it. Hopefully we see some more good intense battles in the GT3 starting next week.
Yeah, for sure, mate. I'll be definitely there.
Yeah, the boys were just messaging me. I think they were saying something in the Discord about that. So might, if I'm around, I might have a look.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well done, Cam. Well done, Blake. I think Robbie Bradbury might have got P3 in the championship, so well done to him and everyone else. I quite enjoyed the whole series.
Yeah, no dramas. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Cheers.
buddy.
Talk to you later.
Mate.
There's our podium finishes and our championship winner, Cameron Veacock. And then on the podium tonight, it was Blake Oker in P2 and Luke Holland in P3. So we'll bring up what's coming up over the next 5 weeks for the new series starting. So it's the Pagnian Imports GT3 Championship, and we're back next week on Monday night, 7:30 p.m. and we'll have round 1. We're at Monza GP in the GT3s, and it's going to be some great racing with a fantastic lineup with Sebring, Watkins Glen, Silverstone, and Circuit of the Americas. So do hit that follow button if you haven't done so already, so you can be notified when we go live. And if you want to see some more V8s, we've got the final round at Bathurst for Project Cars 2 this Thursday night, and that's on the PlayStation, and it's going to be a fantastic race seeing them bust those Falcons around the mountain for the final. So do stay tuned for that as well. It'd be great to see you trackside. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you again next week